What's up YouTube, Pirate King Codex here. We have One Piece chapter 1060, Luffy's Dream. We start out with the crew on the Sunny. They now have access to what's going on around the world. They have access to the newspapers. We do see that the crew is now finding out about how Sabo is being framed for murdering Cobra and for kidnapping Vivi. Of course, Luffy doesn't believe this. He says Sabo wouldn't do something like this. The crew starts to panic and they're worried about Vivi. Zoro ends up being the level-headed one here. He tries to be the voice of reason, saying that they wouldn't be able to go back to Alabasta and that Vivi's probably not even there. The rest of the crew doesn't really react too well to this. They start making fun of Zoro, calling him Green Kaido and Green Mom. And then we do see Robin giving more news. She's mentioning the formation of Cross Guild and how Buggy has now become one of the emperors as well. Luffy doesn't believe this. He thinks it must be a mistake. But he goes back to thinking about Sabo when they were kids, and we see a cut back to the flashback from when they were younger with Ace and Sabo, and how they're talking about their dreams. And Luffy states his dream here that was cut off. We've never actually seen what was revealed, but he says, "I wanna," and then we don't actually get the rest of it. It's most likely the same thing that Roger had said that was mentioned back when they first met Rayleigh. Shanks had told Rayleigh that he met this kid that said the exact same thing that Roger had said. And then back in chapter 966, we had a flashback with Roger speaking with Whitebeard and Odin, how he says that I'll do something. We don't actually get the rest of this here as well. But during the fight with Kaido, Luffy states back in chapter 1049, he makes a bold statement when he's punching Kaido. He says, "I'll make a world where my friends can eat as much as they want." I think this is most likely Luffy's dream that wasn't revealed, and what he says to the crew here as well. Once again, we get this cut off, and we get the crew's reactions. They say that this is something that some say it's something funny, and some say it's not possible. But Luffy says that this is something that he wants to do after he becomes a Pirate King. He'll probably have to do this first before he can actually make this goal achievable for his friends. So we'll likely see later on in the story if this pans out. We cut over to the conversation where Sabo is speaking to the Revolutionary Army on the transponder snail, and the Navy was listening in. We see that Sabo's located near the island of Lulusia. This is an island where the king had not been cooperating with the world government. So now we see what happens. Again, we're seeing a trend where these nations that aren't cooperating with the world government are being made an example of. While Sabo is trying to get out the truth, how he didn't kill Cobra, he's saying that he found out during the reverie that the empty throne actually isn't empty, but before he can actually finish his statement, we see a giant blast come from above, and it wipes out the island, leaving no trace, basically wiping it off the map. Hopefully Sabo was just on a ship nearby, not actually on the island. Now, hopefully he's safe, but it seems that basically everybody on the island was just obliterated. So we do go back to the Straw Hats before the end of the chapter. They get caught in the storm. There's a giant eddy that's being formed, and we hear a scream coming from a woman that's caught in the eddy. The crew rushes in to save her, and it's revealed to be none other than Jory Bonnie. So the chapter ends here, but I think it's really interesting that we get to see Bonnie. The last we did see of her was back at the Reverie, where she was trying to save Kuma. Kuma has now been saved, but we don't know how Bonnie ended up over here, and what transpired exactly at the Reverie. So hopefully we'll get more backstory with Kuma and what happened with the Sorbet Kingdom and what Bonnie's connection is. But it's nice to actually see more of Bonnie here, and I'm hoping that we'll get more details about her. She's one of the supernovas I feel we haven't really gotten too much from. We've been seeing a lot of the other supernovas in the most recent arcs. So hopefully we'll get more information about Bonnie, and I'd be excited to see more backstory for her. But that's going to be it for this week. I just wanted to get a quick chapter review out for you guys. Let me know what your thoughts are. Do you have any other ideas what Luffy's dream might be? If so, just leave a comment in the section below. If you did enjoy this video, be sure to like and subscribe. But be sure to bring along all of your hopes and dreams, and I'll see you in the next video.